Hello students, welcome back to your English class. I am back with the second part of the video, The Stalled Ox, which is written by Hector Hugh Munro. In part 1, we had gone through a short summary of the story and now we'll have the explanation. So let's proceed.
So let's proceed to the explanation of the story. Theophil Ashley was an artist by profession. See children, as I told you in the last video, in the summary of the story, that Theophil Ashley was the protagonist of the story and around whom the story revolves. He was an artist and a cattle painter by force of environment. By force of environment means he was an environment lover. He loves environment, so he paints the cattle. It is not to be supposed that he lived on a ranch or a dairy farm in an atmosphere spread with horn and hoof, milking stool and branding iron. Now author says that we need not to suppose that he was a cattle painter just because he lived in a dairy farm or he lived in an atmosphere where he can find the milking stool, the branding iron, all the articles related to the milking cows. So it's not like that. His home was in a park-like villa-dotted district that only just escaped the reproach of being suburban. Now here we are finding that the author says that his home was in a park-like villa-dotted district. Means he was not living in a dairy farm. It was a different house and that only just escaped the reproach. It means that reproach is just expression of disappointment, and the location of his house was the only one way which was escaping the painter to reproach or to express his disappointment of being suburban. Suburban, the one who lives in a suburb. Suburb means a place which is far from the city and very close to nature. On one side of his garden, there was a small, picturesque meadow in which an enterprising neighbor pastured some small, picturesque cows of the Channel Island kind. Now, this line says that on one side of his garden, there was a small, picturesque meadow. Picturesque meadow, a beautiful meadow. Meadow is the grassland, a field full of grass and herbs, in which an enterprise's neighboring pastured some. Pasturing is putting the cattle, milking cattle to graze in a meadow-like field. Some small picturesque cows of the Channel Island kind, means one of his neighbor, the painter's neighbor, used to pasture some of the beautiful milking cows in that meadow. At noonday, in summertime, the cows stood knee-deep in tall meadow grass under the shade of a group of walnut trees, with the sunlight falling in dappled patches on their mouse-sleek coats. Ashley had convinced and executed a dainty picture of two reposeful milch cows in a setting of a walnut tree. Now here, the writer says that in summertime, usually the cows stood knee-deep in tall meadow grass. So it creates a beautiful picture. It creates a very beautiful picture under the shade of a group of walnut trees, with the sunlight falling in dappled patches on their mouse-sleek coats. And with the bright sunny days, it looks more beautiful. Ashley had convinced. Convinced here means Ashley got that beautiful scenery, and being a cattle painter, he found it quite convincing. That scene was quite convincing and executed a dainty picture of two reposeful. Reposeful is quiet or calm. Milch cows are actually the dairy cows whom we use for milking in a setting of a walnut tree. So it was, the last line says that Ashley the painter was convinced and executed a dainty picture of two quiet and calm milch cows in the setting of a walnut trees. And meadow grass and filtered sunbeam and the Royal Academy had dully exposed the same on the walls of its summer exhibition. The Royal Academy encourages orderly, methodical habits in its children. Ashley had painted successful and acceptable picture of cattle drowsing picturesquely under walnut trees, and as he had begun, so of necessity he went on. Now here the author is saying that the painter has done his work perfectly, and the Royal Academy always encourages orderly, means it believes, this institution believes in an organized way of working. So Ashley was completely like that. He had drawn a very successful and acceptable picture of cattle drowsing, feeling sleepy under the walnut trees. And as he had begun, so of necessity he went on. He began and he went on doing his work. His noontide piece, a study of two dun cows under a walnut tree, was followed by a midday sanctuary, a study of walnut tree with two dun cows under it. These are actually the name or the title of his paintings. In due succession, they came where the god flies cease from troubling, the heaven of herd and a dream in dairyland, studies of walnut trees and dun cows. His two attempts to break away from his own tradition were signal failures. Turtle doves alarmed by a sparrowhawk and wolves on the Roman Campagna came back to his studio in the guise of abominable heresies. Abominable heresies, children, are actually he had completely changed his track. He has changed his track, means instead of drawing, he had broken his tradition, his own tradition, and he started drawing or working with some other animals and the birds like wolves, sparrow, doves. He started painting those and he had given them a chance to be a part of his painting and to be a part of his painting hall and exhibitions, the series of painting, right? So here I was dealing with guise of abominable heresies. Abominable heresies is actually the abominable is causing moral revulsion, and heresies are actually the belief or opinion contrary to orthodox religious doctrine, means he had actually changed his tradition of painting now. And Ashley climbed back into the grace and the public gaze with a shaded nook where drowsy milkers dream. Now here comes Ashley's a very charming painting, a very good painting which has really caught him the gaze of public, means attraction of public, and whose name or title was A Shaded Nook Where Drowsy Milkers Dream. On a fine afternoon in late autumn, he was putting some finishing touches to a study of meadows, weeds, when his neighbor Adela Pingsford, now here is the entry of the second character of this story, whose name was Adela Pingsford and who was the neighbor of Ashley, assailed the outer door of his studio with loud knockings. Now here the writer is saying that Adela entered in a very violent manner. Assailed is the means violently attacking on something. So Adela violently attacked on the outer door of his studio with loud knockings. "There is an ox in my garden," she announced in explanation of the tempestuous intrusion. "An ox?" said Ashley blankly. So she announced she was very angry that time while explaining Ashley that she found an ox in her garden, as she was knowing that it was only Ashley who used to paint the cattle. So she was showing her anger to Ashley that there is an ox in my garden. Tempestuous intrusion. What does it mean? It's a new word for you. So tempestuous is the very stormy, very strong. Intruser is the forcible entry. So she was trying to explain Ashley that an ox I found in my garden who has forcibly entered. She was explaining it. "An ox?" said Ashley blankly. Ashley was actually not aware of this, so he said that an ox, and rather fatuously, "What kind of ox?" Rather, you can say fatuously is the foolishly. Foolishly, he said that what kind of ox? Means as if he was not aware of the fact that what she actually wanting him to do. "Oh, I don't know what kind," snapped the lady. "A common or garden ox, to use the slang expression. It is the garden part of it that I object to. My garden has just been put straight for the winter, and an ox roaming about in it won't improve matters. Beside, there are chrysanthemum just coming into flowers." "How did it get into the garden?" asked Ashley. Now here in the above para we can see that how angry Adela was, and she was complaining to Ashley that how can an ox enter in her garden, and it is going to damage her garden, where she is going to find the bloomy season for chrysanthemum flowers. Chrysanthemum, as I had already told you, a very scenty flower. Its smell is it is having quite good fragrance. "How did it get into the garden?" asked Ashley. Now, rather solving her problem, Ashley started questioning her that how did it get into your garden? "I imagine it came in by the gate," said the lady impatiently. "It couldn't have climbed the walls, and I don't suppose anyone dropped it from the aeroplane as a bowel advertisement." The immediately important question is not how it got in, but how to get it out. Now, Adela was losing her temper. I must say that she was losing her temper, and she was becoming more aggressive to Ashley. She was saying that she was trying to convince Ashley that he has to do something to get the ox out of her garden. And she was just trying to tell Ashley that in a very humorous manner that I believe that it could have entered through the gate only. It is not going to climb the wall. It is not going to be dropped by someone through aeroplane or something else. So now the question is that how to get it out. "Won't it go?" said Ashley. Very calmly, Ashley replied, "Won't it go?" "If it were anxious to go," said Adela Pingsford, rather angrily, "I should not have come here to chat with you about it." My God! Now Adela became very much angry with the answer of Ashley, and she told Ashley that she shouldn't have come there to talk to him. She had actually come there to ask for his help. Now here we see that the conversation between the two went on. I am practically all alone. The housemaid is having her afternoon out and the cook is lying down with an attack of neuralgia. Anything that I may have learned at school or in afterlife about how to remove a large ox from a small garden seems to have escaped from my memory now. Now here we are finding that Adela continued. She told everything about her helpless situation to the painter Ashley, that she is all alone. Her maid has gone for afternoon out. Her cook was lying down with an attack of neuralgia. Neuralgia is actually, children, the pain caused by the damaged nerves. It's a kind of disease. So it was not well, and then she was all alone how to take out that ox from that small garden. All I could think of was that you were a near neighbor and a cattle painter, presumably more or less familiar with the subject that you painted, and that you might be of some slight help. Possibly I was mistaken. Now her tone was completely changed and it became sarcastic, and she was just trying to put a tone on the painter that she thought something very wrong about the painter, that he was living nearby. So she was expecting a sort of help from him, and instead of helping her, he is again and again suggesting her in a different manner and even asking questions to her. So instead of asking question to her, he should help her. I paint dairy cows, certainly, admitted Ashley, but I cannot claim to have had an experience in rounding up stray oxen. I have seen it done on a cinema film, of course, but there were always horses and lots of other accessories. Besides, one never knows how much of these pictures are faked. Now, Ashley also presented his views to Adela that yes, I am a painter of cattle, dairy cows, but I don't know how to remove or how to just control these stray oxen which you are talking about. I had seen many of them in the films and the cinema, but I actually don't have idea that how to control them. Adela Pingsford said nothing, but led the way to her garden. It was normally a fair-sized garden, but it looked small in comparison with the ox, a huge, mottled brute, dull red. So, now here, the writer is trying to explain the stalled ox who had fixed in the garden of Adela, which was quite fair size, and but it was looking quite small in comparison of that big ox. So children, here I would like to end or finish the video. Rest of the chapter will be taught in the next part of the video. Thank you for your patient listening, and hopefully you enjoyed and understood the content. Thank you.